Each year, thousands of Australians are on the move. They're buying houses and relocating in search of a better life.
Many are buying not just one, but two properties to fund their new lives. But buying houses can be stressful, and that's where we step in.
This week, we're meeting a couple desperate to move closer to their family by the coast.
But with an extremely tight budget, it's going to be tough. And this search will get emotional.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, it's
There it
gorgeous.
is. Yeah, this is beautiful.
I love it.
Our couple this week are packing their bags and moving from the bush to the beach.
And with a toddler in the team and another one on the way, things are about to get very busy and the clock is ticking.
Michelle and Patrick O'Callaghan married just over a year ago.
And these young newlyweds are loving every minute of their new family life.
We have a gorgeous little boy, Lockie. He is 21 months old.
And we've got one on the way.
Oh yeah, one on the way. One on the way, so
Yes.
very, very newly pregnant again. So, yay!
They're currently living in Dubbo, northwestern New South Wales. Patrick moved here a decade ago to work as a lawyer.
I'm the principal solicitor at the Western New South Wales Community Legal Centre.
Michelle's been here 6 years. She's a classically trained opera singer who teaches music at a local high school.
Okay, so we're going to go.
Michelle and Patrick bought their current house 2 years ago for $355,000 and they plan to sell it after they've bought their new home.
What are you doing, little man?
He's chopping a carrot. Can you find
Their dream is to make the move from Dubbo to start a new life over 400 kilometres away on the New South Wales Central Coast to be closer to Michelle's parents.
Lockie's their first grandchild, so he's just their whole world.
For us, it's really important to have them involved in his life.
So we're after a family home within 20 minutes of Michelle's parents on the Central Coast with 3+ bedrooms and an open plan living area. For this property, we've got a total of $450,000 to spend.
The biggest thing that we keep saying is something that we can, open plan that we can have kids in, obviously. Something that we can entertain in.
Well, we know where Michelle's head's at. How about Pat's?
I love a good bath in winter, and so it needs to be a big bath because I am tall. I'll be checking the bathroom.
Nothing wrong with a man loving a nice bath after work. But there's more to this dream than just the family home. Michelle and Pat also want an investment pad in Melbourne as a financial nest egg. They don't mind where it's located as long as it's got a good rental return and potential for capital growth. All for the very compact budget of $200,000.
$200,000? Well, at that price, let's just say it won't be roomy.
The reason we're looking for a place down there is that's where I'm from and that's where my family is. So primarily it is because we are looking for somewhere that's going to have a good investment returns and good capital growth, and Melbourne's certainly showing that.
So all up, that's a total of $650,000 for both properties.
Yep, $450,000 for the family home and $200,000 for the Melbourne investment.
Look, I think we'll be okay with the family home, but $200,000 to spend on an investment pad in Melbourne, I mean, are they kidding?
It's not going to be easy. I think I should go down, see what's available. I think you should meet with them and see exactly what they're after.
So I'm off to Foresters Beach, home to Michelle's parents, and smack bang in the middle of the search area where Pat and Michelle want to live. Now, I've got a map here. Is there any particular areas you want us to focus on, or perhaps any areas that we shouldn't focus on?
Well, we've said sort of anywhere within 20 minutes of Mum and Dad, which is a fairly big area, really.
Yeah.
But this end of the coast, I grew up in Battle Bay as well. We're sort of happy to look anywhere, though. We're not terribly fussy. Like, if you think it's a great house, then we're happy to just go check it out.
Sure.
We're not really. We're trying to stay really open-minded.
Do you reckon the Central Coast is ready for a new opera singer?
Oh, look, I think it's overdue for one.
If we find the right property, I think we are owed a song.
If you get me my dream house for a song, you'll get one.
All right, I'll hold you to that.
Yep, no worries.
So will I.
I'll hold you to it.
We start our search on the New South Wales Central Coast, about an hour-and-a-half's drive from Sydney, in the Bayside suburb of Killarney Vale.
This town has a small shopping village and is about 4 kilometres to the beautiful Shelley Golf Course. and a great patrolled beach that's safe for the whole family.
It's just 10 minutes drive from the restaurants and action of the popular tourist hub, The Entrance.
Prices in this holiday haven peaked around 5 or 6 years ago but have flattened out in the last 2 years.
So we might find Michelle and Pat a bargain. The good news is there's plenty in their price range on the market. So we brought you to Killarney Vale here. Double-storey timber weatherboard home.
I think it's gorgeous. I actually think it's gorgeous.
I think it's the white banisters. I like it.
I actually like the white contrast
I do
myself.
too. I actually like it because of the windows, that, you know, those beautiful windows, gorgeous windows.
Now, there's a couple of features I want to point out about this area. Yep. Across the road there is a park for the kids to run around on.
Oh, cool.
There's a bike track around the bay just 400 metres away.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We actually own 467 square metres here, and just down the road, about a kilometre away, there's a childcare centre. Oh, so there's a few facilities around for the, keep the kids in mind.
Yeah,
that's great.
This family-friendly house is only a 15-minute drive from Michelle's parents.
It's got the room they're looking for, 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, with open-plan living areas and even an outdoor spa.
This blue weatherboard home is on the market for $425,000. That's $25,000 under budget.
Come through into the main dining and kitchen area here and you get that real sense of the beach shack that this is. Now, the first thing that takes your eye is obviously the large cathedral ceilings here, which is clearly a feature for some.
Yeah.
Do you like the wooden effect?
Yeah, I do. I like the high ceiling. I think this would be a really lovely family area.
The eye-catching kitchen matches the exterior, but Pat's not looking convinced. So you don't like that beach shack blue?
No, not loving it.
No. Like I say, kitchens don't really bother us. That's easy to fix.
Yeah, I mean, we can always...
So the colour scheme's not a deal breaker. What about the living areas?
Yep. Is this floor plan workable for you guys?
It doesn't hit me straight away and I go, wow. Yeah. I think, it's a beautiful home. It's very charming and there's lots of really positive points.
Well, a good start. Let's hope they like the upstairs.
I love the timber.
See...
exposed.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like it in here, funnily enough.
We know Pat loves his bathrooms. Problem is, size does matter.
All right. OK. It's a bit smaller.
It's very small.
A bit more like a Swedish sauna?
No, it's...
Yeah.
It's not...
Doubt I could swing a cat in here.
It's very nicely decorated.
Have it survive. It's just too small.
Yep.
Did you see the look on Pat's face? Looks like we failed the bathroom test. But I'm not giving up yet. Maybe the outdoor spa bath will make up for the small bathrooms. Well, it's not a pool like you've got at Dubbo, but one of the features of this place is the spa.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
A pool can add value to a home, but an outdoor spa probably won't. It's more about personal taste, and it looks like it's not to Pat and Michelle's liking.
We're 15 minutes away from Foresters Beach here. The prices are a little bit cheaper. This is on the market at $425,000. And in speaking with the agent, there's a little bit of room to move.
OK. I think for me it is just that feeling of it just doesn't go together properly. It sort of feels like there are just parts of the house, but they don't coexist.
The flow. Definitely
together.
The flow.
And so, when you put all that together, it just doesn't flow. It just doesn't...
And space.
So your weatherboard house has left Michelle and Pat feeling a little blue.
No worries, the best is yet to come. I reckon tomorrow's going to be a bit brighter.
Let's do it. Try it.
Hold up, dear.
This week we're on a double search for a Dubbo couple determined to make a sea change.
Michelle and Pat are desperate to be closer to family on the New South Wales Central Coast, so we're hunting down a beachside home for their growing family.
We'd have a huge support network there.
Yeah.
It's just that family pool taking us back to Central Coast.
But this property search is a double header. They're also looking for an investment property in Melbourne, and with only $200,000 to spend, I've gone ahead to try and get started.
Back on the coast, I've already shown them a timber cottage in Killarney Vale, but it clashed with their sea change plans.
It was only a 15-minute drive from Michelle's mum and dad, but the layout didn't thrill them and the bathrooms were too small.
It's a beautiful home, but I think...
Yeah, it's just not doing it.
Yeah, it's just not wow.
But I think we found them something special in neighbouring Bateau Bay, just 5 minutes drive from the grandparents.
I like the area. Yeah. I know this area and I'm very pleased so far.
All right.
It's a family-friendly enclave, just minutes walk to a terrific beach. And there's good value for money when it comes to houses around here as well, with last year's median price at $390,000.
Can you see the tree line just there?
Yeah.
That's actually the beach just beyond that. So really, Lockie has the world's biggest water park just at his disposal.
I love it. It's got a great feel straight off the bat.
I love it. I love where it's situated in the street.
Yeah.
And so close to the beach, so close to Mum and Dad.
It's a quietish area too.
Well, they're sounding chirpy about the location. Will they like the house?
It's got heaps of space. 4 bedrooms, large open plan living areas and a decent sized flat garden for little Lockie and the bub on the way. There's even a little surprise for Pat.
But these guys know what they like and know what they don't like. Question is, which way will they go? The price is under their budget of $450,000 at offers over $439,000. They come through. Now, one thing I do think you'll like about this is the open plan and just the feeling of space, because you've got the second living room that can be closed off there.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
So far?
I'm very impressed,
I love it.
The flexible open and shut living spaces are a great way for a busy family to manage space and noise.
The kitchen isn't big, but a clever design has made the most of the space. Now for the real test. Patrick, I know that you have a bathroom fetish and I'm a little bit worried that this might be a deal breaker. So why don't you lead us into the bathroom and let us know what you think.
Oh, wow.
Quite impressive, actually.
Oh, my God, I love it.
Yeah, this is massive.
I love the shower. The bath is huge. That's perfect. Look how easy that is to bath the kids.
So small. You could fit a whole tribe in there.
What's that?
Good question.
Sorry.
Actually, why don't you slide that across?
Oh, cool. It's a laundry chute.
That's the laundry chute.
You've excelled yourself, Bryce.
That's what we like to hear. You're back in the game, Holdaway.
Hang on, one hurdle down, one to go. They haven't checked out the sleeping arrangements yet. The main bedroom's at the other end of the house to the kids' rooms, and I'm not sure Michelle and Pat are going to like it. Having the master separated from the other bedrooms, is that an issue for you?
Yeah, it is actually. That would be
The biggest thing?
probably my biggest negative.
The question is it a deal breaker? Because obviously the obvious solution is to have baby monitors.
Yeah.
But when the little one is just a newborn, you might be able to set up a cot just outside here so it's still nice
or
and close.
Or even the room is big enough in itself.
Yeah.
So I think we can... No, not
a deal breaker.
Not in my mind.
It's probably something that we could work with, and he's
I
a pretty
think
clever
so.
kid. He could find out where we are.
Problem solved. Now, what's Pat going to make of the ensuite?
Yeah. You move that up. That's not such an issue.
I mean, it's not so bad, right?
Well, there's water on the floor.
Try before you buy, I always say. Let's hope he doesn't go testing the beds.
Good point. But they seem pretty happy with what they've seen so far.
My nature is to get
excited.
overly excited. So what do you think about it?
Style.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
There's not a downside to this.
Yeah.
I just feel like everything is... I can see us living here happily.
Yeah, I think it's a...
Happily. Okay.
So,
let's do it. Let's buy it.
Hold up, dear. Not so fast.
All right, come on.
This house has a lot going for it. It's close to the beach, 5 minutes from Mum and Dad, and has lots of space for a growing family. There's just one rather important stone left unturned.
Perfect.
I really like
in that
it.
Respect. It flows nicely.
Starting to get worried about price.
What do you think this house would be worth?
Optimistically, you'd have to go high fours, but I think realistically, you'd have to put
In
a
the
5 in
fives.
front of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you be happy to know that the asking price here is offers over $439,000?
Really?
Get out.
Wow.
Really?
You're
You're getting better by the minute.
You were looking for the price catch.
I was. Wow. I was actually went from being very excited at the beginning to just going, hold on a minute.
Reel it back.
Reel it back a little bit.
Reel it back, all right. Buying a house is not a decision you want to rush into. Good thing I'm back from down south to put the brakes on.
So fill me in, what happened in Melbourne?
Well, $200,000 is not a lot of money to spend on an investment property down there, but I think I managed to pull a few rabbits out of hats and I've got a few options to show them.
Very good.
How's you up here?
Very well. The pressure's on today. They fell in love with Dubbo Bay property.
Thought they might. Okay.
That's the problem. They fell in love really, really quickly. So today is all about giving them options so they can be really, really clear if that's the one for them. We're heading to Foresters Beach to see a house that's literally just 2 minutes walk to Michelle's parents.
This area is pretty ritzy. Median house prices here are nearly $620,000 and beachfront properties can sell in the millions.
And we found a place with a huge amount of potential. It's only a 250 metre walk from Mum and Dad, so it's a nice brisk walk.
It is.
So close.
Coming through.
Close.
Oh, wow, it's cute.
Cute. We've actually brought you to the address of Foresters Beach, which you obviously know, but also 500 metres from the beach
Very close.
on 676 square metres of land.
Oh, wow. So
Wow.
that's solid.
I think what we've got at the moment is a house that you can easily live in.
Yeah.
But there's definitely scope to
there's
add
one.
value to it
Which
down
is
the
good.
track.
Well, that sounds perfect.
Yeah. It's great.
Excellent. Love it.
This house is in the perfect location family-wise and has a lot going for it with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, beautiful views and a pool. And while it needs some work, there's a much bigger problem, the price.
At $540,000, it's a whopping $90,000 over their budget. But being so close to Michelle's parents, we just couldn't resist showing it to them.
It would be a stretch and they would have to throw all their eggs in one basket to afford it. But knowing how important being close to family is in this search, it'd be wrong not to give them the option here.
Okay, come on through. You can see the view on the way through.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Actually really nice.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
This place has potential plus. There could be money to be made here, but it requires a bit of vision.
The house to me seems a bit back to front.
Right.
You know, I think a bedroom should be where the kitchen is.
Yep.
And over there is your main bedroom. So if you come this way, what we've got is the main bedroom in there with an ensuite. Okay? Now, if you were to move the kitchen into this room, the great thing about having the ensuite here means that the plumbing is already here to put a kitchen in. And likewise, if you're going to put a bedroom over there where the kitchen is, there's plumbing there to put another ensuite in over there. So that really simplifies it and would keep your costs down.
Yep. Yeah.
So have all your living space and your eating space and whatnot.
Down this end.
Up this side of the
Focus
house.
towards the best aspect of the house to really maximise on those views.
Okay.
They'd need council approval for such big plans, but that doesn't seem to be putting off Michelle and Pat.
I think there's a lot to think about here. You know, you walk into Dubbo Bay, you've got it all there.
Yeah.
But you've got to kind of use your imagination here of what it could be. Gorgeous pool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's massive too.
Massive.
This large area under the back stairs is being used for storage. A little renovation would transform it.
So most of the structure's already in place. I mean, the slab is down, you've already got the roof here. So you could put a staircase downstairs to here.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be garage space, it could be rumpus room space.
Yeah.
Or probably some bedroom space, which is a quick way to add some value.
Yeah. I would see us probably using this as a stepping stone so that we did things to it to add that value.
Pat's warming to the potential. He can see this house could set up his family financially.
But he's not the pregnant one. I think Michelle's feeling the strain.
Got toddler, baby on the way.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be doing a lot of work on our own.
Yeah, that's true.
We'd be paying people to do it.
Time.
Yeah.
Just.
You want to spend more time with family, you know what I mean?
Position and potential have definitely thrown a spanner in the works for Pat.
Interesting, because Michelle is totally in love with Dubbo Bay still.
Really? He's totally up for this place, but if he wants position and potential, it will come at a price. Hello.
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 Have a good chance to have a look around?
Yeah, we had a good chat.
We have.
Okay.
Okay.
Feeling a bit excited, actually.
Oh.
It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
In a good way.
A really good way.
Well, the price here is, it's on the market for $540,000.
Close.
Wow. You said 520.
Yeah.
540.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to weigh up the best option for us long term, and I do think this is an amazing opportunity. And we've talked about a few, a few financial things, and that it might be possible. Like, I'm starting to edge towards it.
Well, we obviously have thrown a spanner in the works, but before we get too excited, we've got another property to show you.
I know. My head's going to explode.
Yep, hang in there, guys. This next place is going to be worth it.
We're heading to Chitaway Bay, slightly further from the beach and Michelle's parents, but it's a fabulous family-friendly area.
As well as lots of boating action, there's a bike and walking track that goes all the way to the shops and cafes at the entrance. And the house we found them has everything they're after.
Well, we've brought you to Chitaway Bay, which is a bit further away from your parents, 20-minute drive. A bit further from the beach, but very close to the lake, and you get a lot for your money here.
Oh, good. It's very cute. I love the colours.
I think you'll love it inside.
Okay.
Excellent.
The house is immaculate, with all the space a growing family needs.
There are 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 open-plan living areas and a pool. Best of all, it's back under their budget at $439,500.
Oh, wow.
This is the first living room. I want you to keep coming because there's a lot more living space in this house.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh, it's
There it is.
gorgeous.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
I love it.
So a few other things I'd like to point out. Reverse cycle air conditioning.
Yep.
The roof is fully insulated. And this room and the main bedroom are wired for surround sound.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that's great.
Love our music, so
Yeah.
that's always good.
Normally, we have loads of ideas on how you can improve a property, but with this one, we're struggling.
It's certainly a contrast to the work that needs doing at the last house we showed them at Foresters Beach.
This Chitaway Bay charmer has blown them away, and they've only seen the half of it.
Now, Pat, I want to continue your bathroom fetish. There's 2 in this place, and I reckon you're going to like them both.
Yeah, well, so far,
Spa bath, temperature controlled,
that's fantastic.
and obviously this is a dual way bathroom,
Yeah.
so that could be the guest room.
Yep. I really like this.
There's good attention to detail in this house, and the layout works well with the kids' bedrooms close to the main. And there's no shortcuts when it comes to all the mod cons. This is a really well-appointed kitchen. I mean, look at this.
Amazing.
You want to entertain?
Yeah.
I think you can entertain quite a few people with an oven that big.
It's massive.
And this breakfast bar and the layout here is great
Oh, yeah.
in terms of keeping in touch with your guests.
I love it.
That's a hat trick for us on this search. They've loved the last 3 houses we've shown them. The question is, will they be able to decide?
I mean, it's a beautiful pool. Great air, you know, like
Yeah.
you've got everything you need.
This is tiring.
I know, I'm exhausted.
Exhausted? You've only been here for a day.
It's emotionally draining. How often do we get people wanting 3 properties?
That's a problem. We need to narrow it down to 2.
2, they only need to buy 1.
Well, there's lots of tick, tick, ticking yesterday. Let's see if they tick, tick, tick this one.
Okay. What a whirlwind romance. It was love at first sight for the house at Batteau Bay, then they were enticed by the potential at Foresters Beach, and now they're smitten once again, this time here in Chitaway Bay. Talk about being spoilt for choice.
My head is hurting
Yeah. I know the feeling.
because I did not think we'd walk into this or walk away from this. Really, they've shown us, Veronica and Bryce have shown us 3 properties
Yeah.
that just met our brief so beautifully.
And all for different reasons.
And all for different reasons. And the 2 front runners just, that's why my head hurts.
You can almost toss a coin in terms of...
Yeah.
Just to add to their confusion, better tell them the price.
Well, with you being exhausted and all, how about I do that?
Good plan.
Well, I think it's time to put you guys out of your misery. This property is on the market for $439,500.
There you go.
Same price.
As Batteau Bay.
It is.
We really need to narrow it down to 2.
I feel I have in my head done that.
Yeah.
And I think that through talking that
Yeah, I
we've
think
done that.
having seen now this property, having seen all 4 now, that I think it's really between this one and
Batteau
Batteau
Bay.
Bay.
Yeah. It's an important
Yeah.
decision that we need to...
I've got some thinking to do because I'm
Maybe
now
so.
in very much 2 minds.
Even with Foresters Beach off the list due to price, these 2 have still got plenty to talk about before they put their money where their mouth is.
And if they're confused by what they've seen on the coast, just wait till they get to Melbourne.
I'm starting to feel a little bit
Biting
stressed
off
about
too
it.
much.
Yeah, I do. I think we're biting off a bit more than we can chew.
This week it's a double search for Dubbo duo Michelle and Patrick.
With toddler Lockie and another on the way, this growing family is yearning to be closer to grandparents on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Problem is, Michelle and Patrick love the area so much, They've fallen for 2 of the houses we've shown them and can't decide their favourite.
Love it!
The Bateau Bay bungalow is just a short stroll from the beach and minutes drive to Michelle's parents.
While its rival at Chittaway Bay is a little further away from Mum and Dad, but it has everything a family could want, even a pool.
It's an agonising decision and they want a few days to weigh it up. In the meantime, we're leaving the Central Coast and heading to Melbourne to try and find them their investment property. They aren't fussy on location as long as it's within 10 kilometres of the central business district.
Michelle and Pat are pretty flexible with what they're after. They'd settle for one, but prefer a 2-bedroom apartment with good rental return and long-term capital growth. All for $200,000. Now that's pressure.
With that budget, let's hope you've worked some magic.
Ye of little faith.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to Melbourne.
Good to be here.
Put the weather on for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not bad,
Great day,
actually,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Must be good for you to come back to your hometown where you grew up.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
So you've set us a bit of a task because $200,000 is not a lot of money when it comes to property down here.
Yeah.
However, we've been doing the hunt and come up with a few options for you. And the first property we want to show you is actually smack bang in the middle of the CBD.
Wow,
Excellent.
that's great.
Come on.
Awesome, let's go.
We're heading for iconic inner city Swanston Street. And we've got a bit of a curveball for Michelle and Patrick.
With only $200,000 in the kitty, we're looking at a very particular corner of the market, student accommodation.
These apartments are often centrally located in large blocks and appeal to investors over owner-occupiers, mainly due to their size and the potential for high rental returns.
On the downside, they can be sluggish when it comes to capital growth, but we've found one that seems to be bucking the trend.
So we're on the 4th floor. There's over 140 units in the building. As you can see, it's pretty no frills. And before we go inside, I want you to brace yourselves because it is going to be a bit small.
Right, yeah.
That's what we're expecting.
Will we all fit in there?
We will all fit in.
Well, that's a start.
Single file.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
We'll be right.
I think it's fair to describe this unit as bijou, which is a fancy word for small.
So cultured, Bryce. It's got 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom and some charming Art Deco features including the high ceilings, which help give the illusion of space.
The really good news is it could pull in a solid $430 per week in rent and it's for sale at $230,000.
Come on in, guys. We're talking 38 square metres or thereabouts. It's a 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
You just walked past the kitchen.
I know.
That must have been something along those lines there.
But it is compact, however very functional. You've got a gas cooktop and there's a microwave and a bar fridge which are included. And so is the furniture. So you've got lounges, desks, television and beds as well that are part of the package. So that's one reason why the rent's a little higher because it's included.
Yeah, that's lovely.
It is. It's actually done. It's quite plain and simple, but
Inoffensive.
what you want, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not put off by the size, which is a good start.
Melbourne city rental prices have gone up nearly 50% in the past 5 years. It's a strong market with good demand.
But when buying an investment property, you should never look at the rental returns alone.
So the thing to keep in mind here is specifically student accommodation is really an income asset and usually not a lot of growth.
Yeah.
But this property actually does have a bit of history of capital growth because last time it sold was for $93,000, so it's actually more than doubled in the last 14 years.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good. Best of both worlds then.
Yeah. Sounds good so far.
They're making all the right noises. Let's hope they're not put off by the sleeping arrangements. So you see there's 2 beds there, which seems a bit weird, but students are quite often happy to share in close quarters, which is what keeps the rent up over that $400 a week level.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we certainly did it when we were at uni.
This apartment packs a punch investment-wise, especially considering its size. But for Pat and Michelle, there's a bit of a catch.
I'm really glad you like this property. I'm glad you don't think it's too small because it's over budget.
Just thinking along those lines.
Good start.
Well, the thing is, we've been banging on about how good this is because even though it appeals to students, it also has a wider appeal.
Yeah.
And that's where we see it as being a good investment.
Yeah.
The properties that just appeal to students are within your budget.
Yeah.
But this one's not that far over your budget.
Okay.
The asking price is $230,000.
Okay.
And we've got fairly good indication that it could be sold for around about $220,000.
Okay. That's not bad at all. We could probably
Something
stretch it a bit
worth
there.
talking about.
Yeah, I think so. It's not bad. Hey?
These guys are saying all the right things, but I get the impression their hearts are just not really into this Melbourne search. Is it the money, or do you think their heads are up at the Central Coast trying to make a decision about the family home?
Look, I think it's a bit of both, really. Until they know how much they're going to spend up there, they won't know how much they can actually spend down here. But I think we should press on anyway.
Well, the next property is pretty unique, so I think you never know, it might grab their attention.
A new day and one more property to see on this Melbourne search.
We've moved 10 kilometres further out to the southeastern suburb of Caulfield North.
This apartment's not in the city, but there's still great investment potential.
The building has a tram line right outside that heads towards two universities, Victoria and Swinburne.
And the famous Caulfield racetrack is just streets away. This one's got to be a winner, and the price is right on the money.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we?
Very well.
Excellent.
Great.
Very excited today because we brought you to Caulfield North.
Yeah.
Right, we're about 10 k's from the city.
Yep.
We've got a one-bedroom apartment, and I'm going to hit you with the price straight up. $193,000 is the asking price.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
And it's currently leased for $275 a week.
That's
Excellent.
good, isn't it?
Under budget as we promised.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It's good. I'm
Yeah, it's
excited.
really
I
good.
actually am really excited to see it today.
This Caulfield North apartment is pretty roomy for the low price bracket. It's one bedroom with a separate living room, a bathroom and a communal outdoor area.
The rent of $275 a week is less than the city property, but the payback is the price, $193,000. That's comfortably under their budget of $200,000.
So this building's only 5 years old, so you've got a nice modern kitchen here.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
The apartment is 37 square metres. You've got a separate bedroom over there, and here, once again, it comes furnished.
Yep.
This one's actually got more built-in, sort of the study
Yeah.
space and shelving, which is really great.
Yeah.
But this apartment was originally done by the developer as a purpose-built student accommodation.
Oh, okay.
But now what they're finding, because we're in such a beautiful leafy suburb,
Yeah.
people who can't afford to get into the market, the same story as last time, they will buy here to get their foothold into the market. So really you could take away all of the cabinetry here to make that more of a living space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have a small desk in the bedroom.
In there somewhere. Yeah.
With modern finishes, under budget, good student rental potential and great appeal for investors or first home buyers, what's not to like?
I mean, they've done it again, haven't they, with the regards to if we could have told them exactly dream what we would want,
Yeah.
this would be it.
Yeah,
Because we didn't expect anything big.
No, not within the budget we have for the investment. So,
So it's absolutely what I would have gone, best case scenario.
it's nice out here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, that's sounding promising. The indoor-outdoor communal area is well maintained and a big lifestyle bonus for potential tenants. Having an outdoor area like this is a real advantage, I think.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I think too, if I was a student, this would just really add to what you've already got in the unit itself.
Yeah, it's very appealing.
I think the good part about this apartment here is this outdoor space, because if you do have that one-bedroom apartment with no internal balcony, at least they can come down here and have a barbecue or just socialise with their friends. So the budget on this search was extremely tight, and while this property fits the bill, looks like someone's getting cold feet, and it's not practical, Pat.
I don't think I realised when we said we could buy 2 places in a week.
Yeah.
The reality of doing that.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me.
No.
I'm starting to feel a little bit stressed about
too
it.
much.
Yeah, I do. I think we're biting off a bit more than we can chew.
So the prospect of buying 2 properties has become a daunting one. And after lots of talking and working the numbers, they've decided to put the Melbourne investment search on hold and focus all their attention on securing their family home on the New South Wales Central Coast.
I'd just like to get one thing sorted and then move on to the next. I think, investment properties will always be there.
It really made it, more sense to do what we're going to do.
Just to hang back a little bit, just a moment.
Things I think you'll like about this. So we're heading from Melbourne back to the Central Coast, where they've seen 2 houses they love. Problem is, they can't decide between them.
The Batteau Bay Beauty is closer to the beach and Michelle's parents, but the Chittaway Bay Charmer has a better layout with more mod cons and a pool.
To confuse them even further, they're both on the market for similar prices. Dubbo Bay offers over $439,000 and Chittaway Bay's asking $439,500.
So they've headed on over to Michelle's mum and dad's to talk through the pros and cons.
Sort of that helped a little.
Which one do you like best though?
I mean, Chittaway House is just amazing. Dubbo Bay is a beautiful home as well. And that's 4 bedrooms and it's got room for a pool and it's 600 metres to the beach.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big draw card.
So which house will it be, Dubbo Bay or Chittaway Bay? The longer they take, the bigger the risk that someone else could buy their dream home.
Look, after a lot of hassle discussions and whatever, we've come to the conclusion that we like the Dubbo Bay property.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Once we walked down the beach,
The beach is what did it.
I cried at the beach. It was like, this is where we want to be. What are we thinking? You know,
Yeah.
so...
I mean, the lake area was nice, but, you know, the beach will go down, we'll swim at.
We'll use it. We'll use it.
The location has really won over the house.
Yeah. And it was distance to here, to mum and dad's as well.
Yeah, it just ended up for me all coming back to the location.
Shall we have a look?
So Dubbo Bay it is. We're heading back there with Michelle's mum and dad for the parental stamp of approval.
Do you like it?
Not to mention a tick from little Lockie.
Very nice.
Isn't it lovely?
It's very you.
Michelle's dad's a tradie, so he's giving it the once-over with a super critical eye.
Oh, it's got one of them shower things.
I know, isn't it nice? What do you think?
Nice.
Isn't it stunning?
No, this is stunning. Yeah, it's very nice. Very mod.
Gorgeous.
So you've had a good look through. Can you see them living here?
I certainly can, yes. I'm getting very excited. I think you can see that.
There's a tear.
Emotional.
Now the pressure's on us. We've got to get a deal together. Now, Dubbo Bay's for sale at $439,000 plus. Before we make an offer, we need to know how far Pat and Michelle are prepared to go to get this place.
The thing to keep in mind is 439 plus is really a baked price to bring people in at a level, so it's highly likely that we will have to go a little bit north of that.
I think we'd start getting sketchy around that 450 level and north of that, and would have to start pulling back and really rethinking our options.
Having both had a look at the comparable properties in the area and what you can get for 440, 445, I think 445 is a very solid offer.
Right, it's been an emotional week and they really want the Dubbo Bay property, but negotiations are not for the faint-hearted.
I just don't think they've given anything there. This is what we want, we're not budging from it. And so that's fine. Good luck to them finding a buyer.
We've been on a double property search for Michelle and Pat and their little boy Lockie.
They're hoping to relocate over 400 kilometres from Dubbo to the New South Wales Central Coast. We've shown them 6 properties in 2 states and it hasn't been easy.
I'm starting to feel a little bit stressed about it. Yeah, I do. I think we're biting off a bit more than we can chew.
They decided that buying their family home was their top priority. They fell in love at Dubbo Bay and Chittaway Bay and had to make a very tough decision.
We've come to the conclusion that we like the Dubbo Bay property.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The Dubbo Bay bungalow was priced at offers over $439,000 and it's time to get down to business and start negotiations. Their budget for the family home is $450,000. We've decided a good place to start is to fire in an offer at $445,000.
I'm so nervous. I've got butterflies in my tummy.
It's Veronica here. How are you doing? Well, I'm sitting here with Michelle and Pat, and they are very nervous and very interested in putting forward a serious offer on this property. So what they are prepared to put forward as their best offer is $445,000. How long do you think it will take before you get an answer? Great, thank you.
Okay.
He said he'll be back to us within the hour.
Possibly the longest hour in their lives. We know just how important this moment is to them. And their sea change dream is now within reach. Or is it?
Veronica Morgan. Great. So they've given you instructions that at $460,000 they will sell. Okay. That is too far. Thank you. I appreciate you getting back to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I just don't think they've given anything there. This is what we want, we're not budging from it. And so that's fine. Good luck to them finding a buyer. Then we've seen other houses that we've loved this week, and I'm sure we can be happy in something else. It's very disappointing because we do love that house.
Of course it's disappointing.
But we need to be practical as well and not just keep pushing our budget to get a house if they're not willing to negotiate.
Would you be prepared to put in your maximum bid at $450,000 and literally walk away?
I think we would be happy to put that offer to them, and knowing that we've done that, and if they don't accept it, walk away.
Time to fire in our top offer. Hi, David, how are you? They're a bit flawed by the vendor's expectation, to be honest. If they were to push themselves to their maximum budget, which is $450,000, is there any point submitting that offer to the vendor, or should we just leave it? Okay, great. Thank you, David. See you.
Okay, so we're back in the game. Michelle and Pat's offer is on the table, but the strain is showing.
It's been a really exciting process, and we found a house that we really love in the process.
Yeah. It's not over till it's over.
I know it's not over, and that's fine, but it would be so much nicer if we could walk away today knowing that house was ours.
Yeah. Geez, Michelle was pretty disappointed, huh?
I know, but you know what? They could probably still buy that house for $450,000.
Very confident negotiator.
Well, just because the owner thinks it's worth $460,000 doesn't actually make it worth that. I mean, where are the other buyers?
Yeah, I think they'll be happy that they stayed solid at $450, and some words of wisdom there from you.
Great compliment from you.
You'll take that?
Take that.
Don't get used to it. Back at the cafe, the moment has arrived.
Maybe that's why it's the third day.
Is it him?
Yep. Veronica Morgan. Hi, David. What have you got for us? Okay, so they will accept $450,000. Okay, well, I think we've got a deal. That's fantastic news. Thank you.
Yay! I told you to get excited again. Oh, yay!
Well done.
That is like the best house.
Phew, that was close. But Pat and Michelle held firm, and now they've secured their new home in beautiful Dubbo Bay.
There's just one more phone call to make. Nana and Pop are anxiously waiting for news.
Hello, we just bought a house in Dubbo Bay. Did we all hear that? Excellent. Thank you, we're very excited. So can you put the champagne on chill for Patrick, please? It's already done, he said. All right, we'll talk to you soon. He said, well done, everybody. Okay, thanks, bye.
Talk about happy chappies. And as I remember, Michelle and I had a deal. I do believe you owe me a song.
Okay, cheers.
With the family home secured, you have to ask the question, is the Central Coast ready for its newest opera singer? Oh, yes.
2 months later, and Michelle and Patrick have the keys to their new family home on the coast.
Good to see you. How are you? Very well, and yourself? Let's see how they're travelling.
Very well, and you?
It's exciting to be back.
Yeah, it's great.
Must be exciting to actually own it now.
It is, we're very happy.
Well, you've got plenty to plan. You've just settled on this property. Does that mean you're moving in straight away?
No, we've made the decision, and we made this pretty quickly to rent it out. So we've given a 12-month lease on it just to give us time to sell back in Dubbo and also to find work and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Are you happy with the rent that you got?
It's up around the 500 mark, so it was $485 a week, so we're quite happy with that.
That's a really good return, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So Michelle and Pat are staying put in Dubbo for now.
When their second baby's born, they'll make the move over 400 kilometres to their new life on the New South Wales Central Coast. It won't be long before little Lockie and the newborn bub are spending plenty more time with Nana and Pop. So Jane, what are you looking forward to most, having Lockie come to this part of the world?
I think for me is just having the time together with him. I spent all morning this morning with him in the shopping centre and we had a ball. And with another baby on the way, fantastic. It's just like being a new mum again.
So when we left you last in Melbourne and we're looking at investment properties there and you decided not to go ahead at that time, where's that on the agenda at the moment?
It'll probably be a good 18 months to 2 years away, I reckon.
But it's still on the radar?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely something we want to do, but it's just obviously taking a back seat now.
We've really talked about it and think that it would be more beneficial to wait till we have a bit more money to invest.
Yeah, that means we'd be able to look at either a bigger unit or a townhouse or something that you know, we could invest in without having to, you know, mortgage ourselves to the hilt or something.
So overall, happy with the outcome?
Yeah, I can't wait. I just can't wait to get in it now.
We've really enjoyed it, had fun. It's been stressful at times, but we've enjoyed it and we've ended up with a great house, you know, 5 minutes from family and, you know, the lifestyle that we ultimately want to have for ourselves and for our kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
Michelle and Pat are about to embark on a whole new chapter of their lives. A new baby and a new home by the sea. For them, it's so much more than just a simple relocation. It's about bringing their family back together.
Hey! Moving to Dubbo.